I'm Cameron from GF9 with the final video in our How to Play series for Firefly Adventures, Brigands and Browncoats. Today we are going to be covering how both types of goons, cowboys and thugs, react and move around the game. Goons usually start on the map, waiting for some action. Before they are alerted, then they will not appear on the timeline. At the end of every crew member's turn, check to see if any goons can see any heroic crew or any body markers. If they can, then they are alerted and their token is placed on the timeline at the back so they take the next turn. If multiple goons are alerted, then place them so that the goon closest to whatever alerted them takes the next turn. If any goons appear mid-job, then they will start fully alerted. It also goes without saying, but goons aren't just going to idly sit by and be attacked. If they hit, shot at, or otherwise wounded, then they will instantly become alerted and join the timeline. As you will see, there are two different types of goons. The thugs, who like to get up close and personal in brawls, and the cowboys, who prefer to settle differences down the barrel of a gun. Regardless of the type, each goon card lists the actions that they can take on their turn. Just like crew, each goon can take 2 actions a turn. Goons always take the action listed first on the card. If that isn't possible, then they take the next action and so on. For example, a thug will always try to brawl first. If they are not adjacent to any heroic crew, then they will move on to using their movement action. If they still can't brawl after their first action, then they use their second action to move as well. Each goon card has another side, with specific named goons such as the Bruiser, Roper, or Butcher. You don't have to use this side of the card when you're starting out, but it does add more variety and challenge to the game. When a goon is alerted, look at the model and place the appropriate marker on the timeline, and use the specific rules for that type of goon. For example, the Bodyguard has 3 wounds, 2 fight skill, and a special ability that forces any crew to re-roll successful shots taken against them. These special goons still follow the general actions listed on the reverse of their card. If you aren't using the special goons, then just treat everyone as having 1 fight skill and 2 wounds. Goons always move towards the closest heroic crew they can see, taking the most direct route possible, passing through any doors along the way, even if they're locked. If they can't see any heroic crew, then they will move towards the closest heroic crew on the map, regardless of whether they can see them or not. If there are no heroic crew on the map, then the goon will begin moving back to their waiting position. Once they get back there, remove them from the timeline and heal all their wounds. If there aren't any available waiting positions, then you can have the goon either patrol, guard a specific location, or even shadow the crew. Whichever seems more appropriate for the job and the challenge you want. Goons that shoot will always shoot at the closest crew member, even if that means it isn't the easiest target to hit, and take a skill test as usual. Goons and brawls are not restricted from moving out of the brawl, and don't need to make a breakaway roll. Any crew defending themselves in a brawl doesn't have to move forward on the timeline, and they can always defend themselves, even if they don't have a brawl action listed on their character card. Goons never assist each other in either brawling or shooting. They're in it for themselves and to get paid. There ain't no loyalty there. If any goons are killed, then replace them with a body marker on the spot they died. Crew can move over bodies, but you can't end a turn standing on one. There are a few additional rules you can include if you want a greater challenge, including having a player take the role of the goon boss. Instead of playing a crew member like usual, in this case goons are always alert, and when it is their time to take turns, the player in charge of them can use either of their actions in any order however they want. They aren't constrained by the normal goon rules that force them to chase or attack the nearest crew member. Finally, the most important thing to remember for goons is that it's up to you how to play them. Try to make the goons take actions in a way that feels smart. whether that's moving them into cover before taking shots or moving towards weaker crew members if they're both the same distance apart. The goal of the game is to succeed, but it doesn't count for much if there isn't a challenge. So keep that in mind as you play the Goons. And that's it for our How to Play series for Firefly Adventures, Brigands and Browncoats. If you have any more questions about the rules, have a look at our revised rulebook, linked in the description, put together by community member Patrick Dorsey, with help from GF9's own Andrew Holt. You can order the game as well as the expansions through the link below. All the latest GF9 news and updates can be found on our Twitter, Facebook and Instagram.